Hi everyone, this is AlphaAli. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing okay. So today I'm doing another VOD review. This is actually for Welsh. Welsh we did another VOD review before, like recently. Essentially, Welsh is like quite new to the game and is obviously very, very new to Mercy. We did a VOD review before, basically going through the basics of like how Mercy's played and stuff like that. Because specifically with like positioning, it was a Shambali match. I do remember on the top of my head. Unfortunately, Welsh has had like so many wins, but is still classified as bronze 5. So we're just gonna see what else Welsh can like really do to help like try and get a little bit more wins. I feel as though this ranking system is really like I do not like this ranking system. I'm gonna be very honest, because I see a lot of people that I think are doing extremely well and should be like in silver and gold, but are sadly stuck at that bronze 5 level for like some random reason. When I myself can, you know, go like 5 and 2 on a card and go up like 2 ranks. Like it's so like bizarre like how the ranking system works. But do not feel demotivated, right? I always like say to people, this applies to anyone, right? Do not let your rank define you, alright? Just kind of think to yourself and think, how can I improve myself? And the rank will come along like as its own thing, kind of thing. What's going to happen, I've seen this quite a few with a few like bronze 5 people, is you'll be stuck in bronze 5 for a good like 5 or 6 cards, like positive cards. And then once you get out, you will then fly up, especially if you still keep those like really good cards going, okay? Which is something basically I want you to try and do well. Essentially, just keep on trying to perfect your game style and keep on trying to win these matches and stuff. So once again, you can get your VOD views for 5,000 channel points. I do them on my Twitch. I do them on Mondays, but I also stream on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays too, in case you guys want to come and obviously earn the points and also have a look at my gameplay as well that I'll be doing on there. We have the imp skin on today, which I think is really, really cute, along with the D20 die. Love both of these. They were so, so cute. And yeah, we'll essentially just get into the VOD and just basically see what Welsh can do to improve. And obviously see we have also improved from the last game. So, really nice damage boost usage already. It's really fortunate your, tank hasn't picked yet, sorry. My only thing is I would be pushing up here with your Sojourn. Because at the moment, you being stood AFK in the spawn, like with your cast, is doing the exact same thing as your tank that hasn't picked yet, right? So as soon as you see this Sojourn slide out, you want to help aggress with her, and you just want to GA kind of over to here, just so you can like still like stay and help aggress with her. And I forgot your tank hasn't picked yet, so I'm just going to go forward until your tank picks, and then quickly go back again. Oh, for goodness sake, it's an absolute hassle. And it's nice picks from your castle, which is really, really great. But same thing again, I would still like want to push in a little bit. Nice res in the corner. But you see how we're not opening our cameras to the people that are currently taking the fight? This is how your Sojourn ends up dying, okay? So in this team, I've just gone off it, but you know, I don't really care. Essentially, what you should really be doing here is actually looking at your team before you go and do this res. The thing is because he will spawn here. And you've just resed him like here. Like you do not need to like rush to go and res him here. You can essentially just, you know, think to yourself, okay, he's died, what can I do? Go and help your Sojourn, because your Sojourn's going to be sliding back in and it's going to be like really, really weak. So if you can help her get back into the spawn, it'd be really, really helpful. And we're just going to keep in this review until your tank picks, by the way. So obviously we go to damage boost him, which is really, really great. Your Zen's going for his own little flank thing, you know, let him do his thing. Really nice heals again here. It's fine you kind of standing here because obviously, you know, she can't shoot you and stuff. So really nice position. Obviously going damage boost. Really, really nice. Okay, so we have our tank now, so I can go on to you. And we'll go ahead now. So obviously lovely heals on cast. We're running a Zen Mercy now, which is obviously going to be a little bit harder for you to, you know, heal and stuff like that a little bit. Other than that, really, really great. Okay, same thing again. I would go in aggressive here and kind of like be with your Sojourn. You know, when your Sojourn kind of like slides up to like here-ish or something like that, you want to be with your Sojourn, because your Sojourn is the one that's going to get the most value out of you right now, because she's the one that's going in and being aggressive. She's gonna like be wanting like to slide in or like challenge people, and if you're there to help with a damage boost, like to help with those challenges, then it will really, really help you guys out basically. So anyway, so obviously we're playing our cover, which is really, really nice. I love how we've improved upon that from the last one. I have no clue what your Zarya is doing though, I'm not gonna lie to you. Same thing again, you want to be with your Sojourn. Your Sojourn's the one that's being aggressive here and stuff, but yeah. The tank had like 8 seconds left to pick before the game got cancelled. Yeah, your Zarya already seems a little bit dodgy, I'm not gonna lie. But it's fine. It's okay. But yeah, no, you essentially you want to be with your Sojourn here. Just kind of think to yourself, instead of thinking like who is the best blue beam targets in general, think to yourself, who is the best blue beam targets at that point in time? And at the moment, it's going to be your Sojourn. In fact, in general, it's going to be Sojourn anyways. But like, you just essentially, you want to just kind of like play this cart, or like play like around this kind of corner, just, you know, jiggle peek like this. You essentially just don't want to come out this wide or like go up at this point, because obviously you know they have Widowmaker, and Widows tend to play obviously on these high grounds like this gas station and stuff. So you essentially just want to kind of play down here, and just jiggle peek and just be active with your Sojourn there. All right. So you see how like she's going in to go and contest her? You want to be up there with her and helping her. Because bless her, like she's having to take on that 1v1 by herself. And you're currently like stood basically AFK on the court. Because you kind of like, I don't understand, do this like a kind of like a mean way, like I don't want to sound mean. But you like standing back here while your Sojourn's taking this duel, and your cast is obviously like, you know, he can't do anything right now. Especially like when the cart was like up here and he stood like behind the payload like this. He cannot do anything. Like, you know, so it's essentially, if he's not doing anything, you're not doing anything. You want to try and get as much value as you can out of yourself, because that is how you're going to climb. You will climb and you will get better as a Mercy by being as active as you can be. So what you want to do is essentially, as soon as you see this Sojourn kind of slide up to go and challenge this this Widow, you want to be with her. You want to be using this cover like this, and just kind of like jiggle peeking it like this. Obviously she can't headshot you, and you obviously got this blue beam on, and then when she goes to drop to try and challenge people more, you also want to be with her. Plus also you have the benefit of like using the cart here as well, and it also means you're pushing the cart more because you have 2 people on it instead of 1. Same thing, we're not focusing on our Sojourn, we just need to be with her. So switch to Echo now, which is fine. We're kind of like good with like the damage boost now. Really nice damage boost here. This is great. Same thing again. We want to stay aggressive, and we want to stay with Sojourn here. So as soon as like they grab this health pack, your cast will walk out to go to point, because obviously, you know, he wants to kind of like play the. It seems like your cast wants to play a little bit more long rangey, which is a bit weird. Like if he picked Soldier, like Ashes would have been better for him, but instead you want to kind of walk forward and just like play with your Sojourn in here. Yeah, Welsh, I can see them afterwards if you like, because I might be able to tell a bit about how you've played, and I'll be able to tell you basically with the stats like how you've played basically. But yeah, you essentially at this point you just want to kind of like play in this room and damage your Sojourn, okay? Heal up your Sojourn, really nice. We need to play our cover a little bit more here. I don't know what your Oris is doing. Same thing, we've left our Sojourn again. Our Sojourn, I'm not going to lie to you, is the one that's getting all the kills right now. Like, your Sojourn is absolutely carrying this team fight for you when you have these 2 that are playing it like a little quick play match and have this own, like, little, you know, their own little mother's meeting over here. I want to call it, like... Oh, my word. Welsh, I feel so sorry for you. Because I'm not going to lie to you, this is probably one of the reasons why you are stuck in bronze. Because you had these 2 that will currently have their own little mother's meeting at the edge of the map. Okay? But we're not going to focus on that, because, you know, it's very hard to... So it's very easy to essentially just sit there and think, oh, well, my team did this. Okay, that's cool, right? But this little mother's meeting is not going to happen every single match, okay? We have to think about the bigger picture. And we have to think to ourselves, okay, how can I improve? And we can do this right now by being more active with your Sojourn and be more aware where she is. Because at the moment, it seems like it seems like you're really, really good with your awareness of like where your cast is, but you don't seem very aware with where your Sojourn is, sorry. Now, obviously, I don't know whether this is like a sound issue or like a game issue kind of thing. Because it either comes down to 2 things. It comes to a sound issue where if you're not playing like with a headset and stuff like that, it can be really hard to kind of know where people are. And, or it could be either like a game issue where you don't really know where the Sojourn's going to attack from. I did switch pocket very quickly after noticing the other DPS was doing more than the cast. Okay, good. I'm really glad you do end up like noticing that. But anyways, so obviously we're playing with our cast. Just be sure, like, if we're going round and obviously like going like, you know, you're not just sort of like weaving about like this. Be sure that you're still looking at the obviously where the active kind of target is, like where your other DPS are, because at the moment right now you're very much just kind of like AFK, like dun dun dun, like around here, right? You essentially want to kind of be following up with your cast because you decided, okay, this is a decision I'm going to make. I'm going to go aggressive with the cast. You GA up to this rock here and just keep damage boosting from up here and basically provide this off angle. Now, what would happen in a normal match is you and cast would provide this off angle and it would hopefully mean that the D.Va peels back for you, which then allows the Orisa and your rest of your team to kind of like progress into the rest of the team while this D.Va is having to peel for, obviously, this damage behind. But obviously that's not going to happen, sadly. You see how you could like be here like to help damage boost that? That might have got more than one because you have the damage boost on. If you damage boost high noon, it charges up quicker, which allows him to draw it quicker. So you just want to be with him, basically. So obviously we noticed we saw an Echo. So did you see that Echo? Essentially you want to like to play out of LOS of her, right? Really nice how you're playing out of cover. So he kind of notices where she is. Really nice. Okay. My only thing is you do not want to abandon your cast here, okay? This is fine that you peel away because you're like, oh, you know, I've seen her, right? As soon as you've kind of GA'd over to here, think to yourself, what can I do? I could do a slingshot back here, slingshot yourself back to like here, and then just jiggle peek this like this. Because if you manage to get your beam on your cast and start damage boosting him a bit more, he can really easily work down this D.Va mech, and it can, what's it called? It can basically change this team fight for you. So love how obviously you peeled back to get yourself away from like, you know, into safety and stuff, really, really great. But then use that same GA with a slingshot to sling yourself back to here. Alright? But we'll keep going. I would just not focus on your Orisa right now. Like as soon as you see someone like throwing on your team like this, get your Glock out. Okay. As soon as you see someone like as soon as you basically see someone that's throwing your games and stuff, like ignore them completely. I would have gone a res there as well, because you know how you're I think the Zen, where did the Zen die? I think the Zen probably died like around where your Orisa was, because that's where they were stood before. Yeah, I would have peeled back and res your Zen here because it seems like your Zen actually wants to help in the team fight. Like he's applying Discord orbs and stuff, so definitely go back and go and res him. If it was your Orisa, I would have just left him, but like, nah, like they're throwing my game, who cares? I don't care about them, you know, ignore them. Anyway, so obviously we're with Sojourn, which is really, really great. My only thing, I don't mind you obviously like being on the court here. Really nice. Get your Glock out, get your Glock out. No, dude, that was such a good Glock opportunity. Okay, let's talk about this. So, what's going to happen is obviously, I love how you're playing on the court. And what I was going to say about the court is just be sure that you know, so if the team start pushing in, that you back away from it. But it's fine because obviously they won't be like pushing in, alright? You see your Sojourn slide, perfect. You GA in with her. This is perfect. But she gets slept. What can we do in this scenario? You get the Glock out, especially because it's only the honor as well, right? Because what you essentially want to do is you want to kind of just finish off your GA, get your Glock out straight away, and just annoy this honor. Because it's going to force the honor either to, like, miss her nade or, like, try and, like, basically DPS onto you instead of, like, trying to get this Sojourn, basically. So you essentially just want to kind of get your Glock out and that, like, you know, damage her, because unfortunately there is nobody else in this fight that can, you know, like help like eliminate her, because normally what would happen is you'd have like someone else, like for example say a cast that was like coming up here, so you could very much damage boost the cast and like help shoot the honor basically, because putting your beam onto someone that slept is going to do nothing for them, because unless if they were already losing HP before the sleep, you can't do anything. If they're full HP or near full HP and they get slept, there's no point putting a damage boost or anything on them. You might as well just be aggressive and get your Glock out. The Zen was very good this match. It's just I didn't notice him dying. That's right, Welsh. Don't worry about it. Honestly, it's all good. Just be sure just to keep an eye on that kill feed a tiny little bit more, alright? Because it really gives you, the kill feed as a support player really gives you a good incentive into how the team fight is going. Because obviously, you as a support player will play, like obviously you're not playing frontline. Like, what's going to happen essentially, your DPS will be playing like really out open like this, whereas you will be playing very much in the cover and very much out of this fight, like probably like jiggle peeking like this, okay? Your kill feed can really like help you determine like when people have died, like what kind of routes you have still as well. So just kind of like just keep a tad little bit of an eye on this. But anyways, I want to see how this ends up ending out, because I love this damage boost while she's anti. This is really great. Go on, go the Glock. That just, dude, you just need to hit one little pistol. Really nice GA away. My only thing is do not GA like straight up like this. You do not need to, alright? If you need to GA and then come around this cover like this and play around here. Because you, like, because, okay, you're battling against an Ashe. Ashe finds Mercy's really, really easy to target and pick off if you do a straight vertical movement like this. Because it gives you, like, you know, you're completely, unless if this rock, oh sorry, where is it? Oh, the ash is like underneath the bridge. But say if the ash was like where the Mercy is, obviously you got this rock blocking you. But if you did your like jump up like a little bit closer to the left, this would have like got you picked off, right? So essentially you just want to, what's it called? You just want to kind of like, when you're obviously coming back to her, just come over to this cover and play this a little bit more. Alright, but we'll keep going. See, she's using her ult, which is really great. Heals up, really, really nice. Valk. Oh, nice res, okay. Res and Valk. Your wrist actually is starting to play the game now, which is quite nice. Because I was like really I was really worried that your wrist was not going to play. That's the reason why I said to Valk, because it allows you to kind of get your beam on all your DPS. Back away, back away. Okay. Alright, whenever you see a diva walk like forward into you, she will want to remech on you. So you just want to kind of back away, because my issue was that you were like getting very like edgily closer, and I thought she was gonna remech on you. So just whenever you see a baby diva like that, you just want to kind of back off like as much as you can. Alright. Looks like your Cass isn't dying, and you will get your res off. Really nice. I would push forward here. But for that fight though, you want to push forward instead of pushing this payload, like, because essentially you want to get rid of this honor to allow your team to push like forward the payload like a little bit more. It gets rid of her quicker, and then it allows you to go back to this payload if you like so desperately wanted to. But it's fine. You end up on the cart, which is kind of fine because obviously your Zen's using the trans for your Sojourn. This is unfortunately a bit of a weird match. What I would personally like to be doing here is really pushing up with your Sojourn. Like, really let your Sojourn absolutely dominate here and just, like, you know, be really, really aggressive. Because although it's, like, really, really cute that you're being, like, a payload princess here and everything, it's still, once again, like, not being very productive for your team. Now, this is obviously, like, a really weird match because your wrist is, like, half AFK, half not for, like, the majority of this match. Like, I have no clue what's going on with her, honestly. It's a bit weird. But we could just focus on, obviously, what, you know, what you need to do, which is obviously basically enable your Sojourn in this match. Same thing, and just be careful. We need to get ready to help Cass though. You know, obviously he's going to be needing help. Really nice. We just need to get there a bit quicker if we can. Really nice heals though. Really nice. Going back to the point. Really nice. Just remember, like, the Echo's still gonna be behind you guys. She's going somewhere. What would normally happen is essentially you would, like, the Echo would be continuing to focus your Cass. So it's fine you're, like, kind of slingshotting in here to get the payload in a little bit quicker. But then I would have gone back to the Cass to help damage boost to get rid of her. She instead decided to, like, leave. I'm like, I'm done, you know, kind of thing. Which is, you know, fair enough. But I definitely would have gone and tried to damage boost. And the tank was a bit weird, but good, if you get what I mean. I'm not going to lie to you. I think this is a Smurf. Or it's some kind of alt account, right? This is definitely a higher ranked person on, like, trolling on this account. And I don't know whether they're queued with the Zen, because the Zen is also doing the exact same things, where it's like, they're doing, like, these really weird antics and stuff like that. The only people I could not see being, you know, being of this rank is obviously your Cass. Your Sojourn, I believe, should be higher, definitely. I don't know whether she's a Smurf or yet not, though, because her aim is a tad bit off. But definitely these two, from what I've seen so far, they're definitely, like, together, and they're doing some wild antics. Like, they're doing things, you know. But if this ever happens in your match, just let them do their thing, and just, what's it called, just help enable the rest of your team, which should be your Sojourn, because your Sojourn is being so dominant in this match. Okay, this is a point in time where you can push forward here. I'm just going to actually keep this playing because I feel like you're just going to stay on the cart, right? The reasoning is because what happens at this point is the payload is not going to move while the door is open. Ooh, Echo's back. Nice. Yeah, essentially, and that kind of, like, proves to you as well, like, why we should never ever be, like, AFK on the point, because stuff like that could happen. So yeah, just a quick like kind of piece of advice. While these doors open at this point, you cannot push the payload. So actually at this point you could push forward with your DPS definitely and help kind of like, you know, damage boost them and stuff like that. They might be able to get a pick. And then as soon as these like doors have opened, you can then drop back and start pushing this cart a little bit more. Because obviously then your Sojourn like slides back to you and everything, which is really, really nice. Unfortunately, it seems like you're going to be on payload duty. What should realistically happen in this like match is you should not be on payload duty here. That's so good. We can hear those footsteps above us. I'm hoping that we can hear. I believe that this is going to be the Ashe. What's going to happen normally is sometimes Ashes will kind of come and flank up here and start shooting down from here. So we can avoid this by going into this room. The reason why this room is like really, really safe for you is obviously, you know, they're going to be above you, but also they cannot get, unless if they go for a really like, wide flank, like all the way around here, they cannot get to behind you, alright? So this is really, really great for you just to kind of like sit in to avoid you from, what's it called? Sitting up here. The Zeno cash on payload duty, in my opinion, definitely, 100%. What should happen is, obviously it's great that your Orisa would be like taking space and stuff like that, that'd be great. You also want to be pushed up with your Sojourn. Realistically, so let's talk about a realistic scenario, what's going to happen, alright? Your Orisa would be still kind of like mainish, like trying to, you know, take cover, like, sorry, well, you know, take space and stuff like that. Your Zen will just be on point, kind of just spamming people out. Your Cass can also be here, or he can, you know, be going up on his own flank. The Cass might also be coming up with you. And the best place for your like people to be right now, your Sojourn, what will happen, especially when you get a little bit higher up, is a lot of DPS will come and take this kind of like lorry area, and you will essentially, all you need to do is just kind of sit behind here, not peek anything, and just sit and damage boost. This is a bit like Havana, you know, like on the high ground of First Point Havana, where you literally just stand there just with a blue beam and you just cannot peek anything. This is the exact same thing, and you just need to keep on obviously looking at this angle, just in case someone comes up these stairs, and then you just obviously alert people when they come. And there's also a lovely mega health pack here as well. So that's what realistically would happen. Now, in reality, we're actually still on the payload with your Sojourn, which is absolutely fine because you're completely doing your job. You need to head out with your Sojourn. Go with her, go with her. Oh, okay. So, it's good that you got out, don't get me wrong, but this would have been so good if you just followed through with your Sojourn, right? What happens here, so obviously, you know, the Diva's here, and you're like, oh my gosh, what shall I do, right? You wait for the clearest opportunity that you can to GA to her, and GA, and slingshot yourself all the way over here. The reasoning is then your Sojourn can very confidently take this duel with the Ashe here, and then she can continue her flank round. You could very easily, if you damage boost her, get her Sojourn ult up, and then she could just go sliding in like really aggressively and just go pew pew, and you know, just like kill like as many people. That's my impression of Sojourn's railgun, by the way. But yeah, you can definitely, like, what's called, just honestly stay with her and just be aggressive with her. Let your team come back and, you know, be aggressive and obviously, you know, take aggression on that cart. But we end up peeling back, which is fine. Really nice damage to 20 Cass. Obviously, we're seeing that our Zen is AFK. Good that you just let him die. Need to help your Ram though. Valk. We need to back a little bit sooner. As soon as we hear that Sojourn ult, right, you want to Valk. Like, because you want to be in there and you want to be damage boosting her. And this is the best, like, opportunity for you because obviously their teams will be, you know, obviously, like, wanting to be aggressive, like your Diva and stuff like that. So if you pop the Valk, like, straight away, you can flip that damage boost on that Sojourn and really help her, like, clear people up. At the same time, you can also help your Ramattra because, you know, your second support was AFK. So you can very much, what's it called? You can, like, literally just be really, really aggressive with your blue beam right now. Just keep an eye on your Sojourn. Keep an eye on your Sojourn. We ended up leaving our Sojourn a little bit here. We need to help Sojourn. We need to help Sojourn. Okay, I just want to quickly talk about this, right? If you're okay, let's I want to go back to the Valk actually, right? In Valk, you never ever just want to be kind of like free flying like about like this. In Valk, you still can use obviously her normal GAs, and that's what you should be doing, right? Because it's also like an increased movement speed. Essentially, what would happen here is you would GA forward and then come over here and then help with this Valk and stuff like that. Okay, you cannot help your Cass here. The Cass is a goner, right? You now basically have to make that quick split decision and just commit with your Sojourn and just go and help her and peel for her more. Your March is going to have loads of HP. Let him do his thing. He's being a bit of a weirdo anyway, so just let him do like his weird little things and just fully commit with your Sojourn and just damage boost her, alright? Exactly what we're doing right now. Really, really nice. Follow her through with her slides. When Sojourns do slides, sorry, because I'll talk about that in a second. When Sojourns use her slide, you also want to GA with them, so you can GA like around a cover and just like commit with them, right? Because you kind of waiting here or like, you know, not helping follow up with her can, you know, basically will not give her confidence to take these like really aggressive angles basically that she wants to take. Now, I also want to talk about the super jump because obviously this is the issue that we have, right? They are playing double hit scam and diva. If you do a straight vertical GA up into the air like this, it makes you a target to him. It makes you a target to the Ashe, and it also gives a really like straight dive for your diva to do, because obviously you doing the straight Guardian Angel upwards gives an increased GA cooldown as well, which basically means that you're just gonna be stuck there for like 2 seconds, like in the air like this. Instead, I would like you to use your GA to come around to this cover, and then you just kind of wait here and like damage your ram if you need to, and then once your GA is back on, you can GA back around and over, and then what's it called? Super just bad to get his scans? Yeah, exactly. So just, you know this, honestly, Welsh, because obviously I know you watch a lot of Kieski and stuff like that as well. You will 100% know all this. It's just applying it into your game a little bit more. Alright? But we get to the ground now, which is really, really nice. You need to help your ram out a little bit. Nice. You know it's behind you, so you need to rotate. Lovely rotation. You need to help your ram still, though. Nice rotation to go and help him. We just need to be there a little bit quicker because it's very much to be just abandoning him. Damage boost him now. As soon as he gets above that half HP, just start damage boosting him. You know Visor's going to be main. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. This is not the play here, okay? So, you know what I said to you? Visor's going to be main. Because you have to kind of think to yourself, okay, if I was the enemy soldier who has died and respawned, where would he be visoring from when the payload's this close, right? He will obviously be visoring from spawn, okay? So he's either going to come out this spawn door and he's going to be doing it here. He's going to come out this spawn door and do it here. Or he's going to come out and do it here. Or he could also, if he desperately wanted to, which I see a lot of people actually doing in higher ranks and stuff, they'll go up onto these stairs and do the visor like behind like this. You essentially have to like, you know, okay, first of all, things stuff like this is going to be bronze, so obviously, you know, they're going to be coming out main. You essentially just need to think to yourself, where's that visor going to be? And if you need to, wait the visor out. Like if you really, really need to, you can literally sit here and just damage boost your Sojourn and try and like help, what's it called, people like from spawn basically. You can just help like damage boost your Sojourn there and then go and help the rest of the fight when that visor's down. The reason is because if that visor was not locked onto your Cass and it was locked onto you instead, which it should have been, you would have died there, okay? But we keep going. You can res that. Nice. Really nice res. Damage boost again. Same thing with the super jumps again. I'm not going to keep on going on about the super jumps though. Tries to damage boost people here. Whenever you see a March like above half HP, you just damage boost him. I have it trying to break at the moment. Right. Well, here's a really good tip that I'm going to give to you, right? Which I've given to a lot of Mercy players that are struggling with the exact same thing as you're struggling with, right? Do not touch that button at all. Like, you can use, obviously, the vertical super jump. Like, do not get me wrong. Like, it is useful in certain scenarios. But the majority of the time, actually doing a slingshot, like, you know the ones where it's like you could just GA and then GA like in a different direction, like up, like flick it up, like that. They are 10 times more useful and will make you actually more aware about your movement than just going straight up, right? I feel as though, I don't know whether I said this to you in the last VOD, but I say this in a lot of my VODs anyways, right? You want to follow what Neandra says, right? Which is essentially not to use super jump to position, but use it to reposition. So essentially, you can actually just use these like little slingshots like this to go up onto like high grounds that like might be up here, for example, instead of just going like straight up like this, okay? So do not touch that crouch super jump button. Use the jump slingshot method instead, like, because it will already make you like such a better Mercy already. But anyway, so we're getting back to the point now, which is really nice. Pretty much have the same comp. It says our tank is like switching around quite a bit, you know. Let them do whatever they want. You're definitely Smurf, so I can really tell. So we're pushing with Sojourn, which is really nice. Just, I would sit back a little bit here. I would sit like pretty much where your cast is. Like sit here. Because obviously it's not so you're obviously like, you know, in these windows and stuff like that. You can just sit here and just stay back from her. The reason why I'm saying this is because you knew from the first like round that they had a diva. And probably like it's very likely that people don't tend to switch tanks and stuff like that quite often. Like, you know, especially if people like comfortable. Like on diva and stuff like that. Like, I think this person played diva like the entire thing basically. So what she's going to do is she will dive up to here and start obviously using her rockets. If you're stood really close to your Sojourn, you're going to take so much damage that you do not need to. And then if someone obviously ends up flanking you or something like that, you can just die. You essentially want to take as little damage as possible. So you just want to kind of like stand a little bit further back like over here. But really nice like use of your cover though. This is really great. So hitting her up. You can res that. Really nice res. I would just do the res a little bit more instantaneously. You also don't need to peel back as much as you can because look, your cast's gonna die now. Me and the whole team tend to like to die a little bit because they all kind of like rest in. You just need to leave now. You just leave. Yeah. So, right, let's talk about this. So essentially, you end up kind of peeling back a bit. I don't feel like this is really your like fault for the majority. The only thing I can see it being your fault with is that you kind of backed out and you didn't stay committed to this fight. As soon as you saw your Sojourn slide in again, you either slide in with her and you like commit and just die with her, or you back out and try and find your team again. You end up kind of just standing there thinking, oh, is she like gonna come back to me? She's not gonna come back to me. You should honestly just automatically just like be backing away or go in to go and die with her. Damage just like Bastion. You see when the Bastion comes into his turret form like this, you want to help him hold this high ground and just like spray people down. Like literally just put your damages on him, help him up here. It will help get these people from these high grounds and stuff like that. And then once he's kind of like getting towards the end of his turret form, then you can go and peel for your Sojourn and be with her. Because at the moment your Bastion's the one that needs help, basically. We'll keep going. Same with the damage boost, needs damage boost. We did destroy him high ground either though, you could just stay up there really, really nicely. But really nice. I'd be going in to go help your Jungle Queen a bit more here. Nice. We're just a little bit slow on that though. Be sure to damage Sojourn. Just be sure if you ever lose like beams and stuff on your on like, for example, there it was your Jungle Queen. Just take the damage boost on your Sojourn straight away because it'll help get rid of whoever's diving her before then obviously you can get it. Now, this is a mistake on your behalf, however. Okay? Because what's going to happen is D.Va will try, in your team comp, your D.Va will try and either dive, probably your Zen. Your Zen is the most vulnerable out of your team. Because obviously your Sojourn can slide away, Bastion can just get out of his turret form, it's like, haha, you know, try and dive me kind of thing. She will obviously try and dive you, but you can get around that by, you know, using your GAs and stuff like that. Zen, however, has absolutely no escape routes or like any help. So if he gets dove onto by like this D.Va and also the Lucio and stuff, he's just going to die. So what you need to do in this scenario is great that you were like stood like what, like here-ish. I would have literally, however, just not moved off this high ground and just stayed up here. So you would have been on here, help him, right? As soon as you see this Zen being dove, you switch your beam onto him and you help him here. Because there's also, if you didn't know down here, there's also a mega health pack. So if people like desperately need the health, there's a mega there as well if they need it. But you can essentially just stand up here and just help like peel for your Zen. This is your fault basically that the Zen dies because you didn't have your beam on the right person. That's fine. You just want to damage boost again. Okay. Would have been a bit of like a weird spot, but it's fine that you're going in. You have to remember that people main do not have a support right now, so you need to also be keeping an eye on them. Okay, this is fine that you go in to go and commit with Sojourn here, right? And I love obviously that you end up hugging this like kind of wall bit after you get this bit of a like a weird spot. It's fine that you help her eliminate this this echo, but you also have to think to yourself, people main do not have a support, so you now need to be peeling back to your team like this and helping them out, right? Either like damage boosting your Bastion or damage boosting your Jungle Queen or something like that. You essentially just need to be back with your team because you know the Zen has just died. Really get damage boost though. I'm hoping you've heard Hanzo. See how your jungle queen's died now because, you know, we're not helping her. Like, we're very focused on Sojourn. I feel like this is where everything's coming from, Welsh. You are very one person centralized when playing Mercy, right? What I mean about this, I'm just gonna keep the VOD playing as well while I do this. What I mean about this is that, like that, for example, right there, it's like your world revolves only purely around the Sojourn. Which, do not get me wrong, like your Sojourn is obviously, you know, your main blue beam target and stuff like that. But just remember, there is other people on this team that you can also blue beam, and there's also other people on this team that you're going to have to peel for from time to time. Specifically with the comp that they're running, obviously the Lucio and the D.Va will just, you know, like try and dive onto your Zen. So you definitely need to be trying to help him out a little bit more, keep him alive, and just be, you know, like in scenarios like this, just try and put your heal beam on him and like kind of like back yourself off. Try and get him out from these scenarios and stuff if you can, because a lot of the time you're completely just fully reliant on follow with the Sojourn, when in reality you should be like trying to juggle your beams between everyone and not just having this person as being your be all end all. You have three other people in your team basically. And it feels like that's kind of where all your movement mistakes are coming from, and where also everything else is going wrong. So this is what we should be doing. Really, really nice peel for the Bastion. Damage boost him now. Damage boost him. Really nice. Still be with him though, because we've disconnected our beam. Natty's staying with him now. Really, really nice. Obviously still does Lucio. Damage boost now. Damage boost. Once the Bastion has orb on him and stuff, you can just damage boost at this point. Needs help Zen. Needs help Zen still. Oh, okay, we end up letting Zen die again. We need to go and res it though. Needs help the team again though. This whole thing has basically just re-emphasized my point about how you are very one centralized person. Like, exactly, it is that Welsh. You essentially fully lock on to whoever you're helping. Really try to get out of that habit and really try to kind of play as more a team player Mercy, because you're playing Mercy very much as how you should be playing Mercy in like a really organized play. Like very high up like level Mercy, but also like, you know, kind of like how Overwatch League Mercies play, where they will literally stay on one, like for example an Echo, and will only be with the Echo. This is what you're doing, but this is not going to work in the ranks ladder pretty much at any point, I'm going to be honest, unless you have like extremely good DPS on your team. You essentially need to be really focused. Like, it's fine, obviously, you know, going up, like, for example, this was really good, you going to heal this jungle queen, but you spend a good couple seconds of her just looking at her, healing her. As soon as you get that beam on her, you now need to be looking and thinking, okay, I need to go peel for people, because you can hear this D.Va diving onto people. So you just need to be a little bit quicker and just try, you know, for example, going over here to go and help your Sojourn, to go and help with this battle and stuff. We end up Valken, which is okay. We use it to go and help Sojourn, which is, you know, fine. Damage boost again. Just try to put the damage boost on as soon as people are like, you know, full HP. Really nice. Really nice. Same with the damage boost again. When that's how you peel it for your Sojourn now, though, this is really great. Really nice. Just same thing again with these super jumps as well. We just need to use the cover a little bit more. Nice damage just on the ult. But obviously, don't just kind of focus yourself like your whole like thing like on this Bastion that's ulting. Like you try, because for example, right now while you're just stood here like this, your Sojourn, sorry, that's your Moira. Your Sojourn, I think it's up here, yeah. Your Sojourn's currently having to try and fight off this D.Va. You can essentially, you can damage this ult. This isn't like the be all and end all of like damage this ult, so because don't get me wrong, like Bastion's ult isn't the best in the entire game basically. So you can just essentially like walk around and just what's it called, like start damage boosting Sojourn. Getting the Glock out though. Go on. Okay, we got there in the end, which is good. And we do end up winning it. Okay, so Welsh. I'm gonna start with the positives, right? Your positioning compared to when the first VOD that I watched of you, which was about a month ago, probably at this point, right? It's already a massive step up. Okay, your positioning, unless if it's obviously to do with like the super jumps upwards and stuff like that, is already really great. Okay, like we seem to be a lot more knowing about like the game. You looked a lot better on attack than you did defense. And I think that's purely because you were, what's it called? Yeah, well, like honestly, if you want to kind of learn Mercy to play on a ranked ladder, you have to watch people like, for example, I know you really like Skieski. Skieski's a really good one. Elizao, obviously there's Gulpy. If you want another console person, Clueless is really good as well. I could give you a full like list of people that I would like really like, like recommend you for Mercy for playing on a ranked ladder and stuff, because they will show you how to play Mercy as like a kind of like, I don't know how to like describe the playstyle, but it's very much you play, obviously, you do have a main blue beam target, but you also go around and heal other people at the same time as well. Like you're playing very still like team centralized rather than just fully, what's it called? Going off. Like playing your Mercy off. Thank you, Welsh, as well. I mean, I don't know what's called. I don't want to like self-advertise myself. I also want to give you like other options and stuff as well, because there are so many like amazing Mercy players out there that you can watch. So yeah, sorry, improvement from last time. So obviously your positioning was a massive improvement, because that's the thing we're like really improving on. Or have you just sent me with the stats? Because I can quickly talk about them. Okay, stats. So deaths is great because we did not die. That is already a really good achievement. All right, not dying. Okay, you did very nearly die. A lot of the time. I'm gonna be honest though. And if we were in a higher lobby, say like a silver or gold lobby, you would have died in the scenarios. And it all kind of comes down to your kind of super jumps. You just do not press that crouch button. Do not ever at any point press that crouch button, okay? I want you to just not touch it. Just ignore it. It's not even there. And instead, really focus on using the jump slingshots to get up into high grounds and flicking your camera up and everything. Because the majority of the time, if you watch me play, unless if I want to get very vertically up, I will never ever use that jump. My first zero death game. Well, congrats, Welsh. That was, honestly, it was a really good match. So do not get me wrong. Like, it was amazing. We ended up having 1.5k damage up, which is really good. And obviously we have more offensive beam, which is really, really great. I feel as though we need to up that player saved a little bit more, because obviously a lot of the time we're being very tunnel visioned. We do end up getting a kill as well, which I guess was on the Lucio at the end, which is quite funny. But yeah, overall, like your team is very like a solid team, and I think it's generally because you had those two Smurfs. I feel like they were Smurfs. I'm not gonna lie. But congrats on the first ever zero death game. Honestly, it was really good. Definitely a massive improvement from the first one. Okay, but we do need to work on essentially just, what's it called? We need to work on, instead of just being really tunnel visioned onto one singular person and the person you have your beam on, try to be looking around a lot more than what we're doing, just so you could take in more information and be using that GA a little bit more often to try and like get to more people at once, because it feels like you're playing very tunnel vision onto this one singular person. So things I want you to work on, okay? Stop doing the crouch super jumps, like just, use like other movement methods basically, and try and be more aware with the rest of your team, not just the person that you're damage boosting. And that's your takeaway for this Welsh, alright? Because position is already making a really good start. Like, we're already using our cover a lot more than what we were doing last time. But yeah, please do let me know if you have any more questions as well, Welsh. I'm more welcome to chat as well after I just round out this VOD. But yeah, thank you so much to everyone on Twitch as well as on YouTube that have been sat here watching this. Once again, you can get your own VOD views for 5,000 channel points. I do them on Mondays, but I also stream on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays too. And that's usually just my own, like, my own gameplay. You're more than welcome to come and chat to my lovely community over there, or, just come and lurk. It's completely up to you, just build up those 5,000 channel points, and I do them on Mondays. Just redeem the code VOD, and you can always, like, tell me a bit about it too as well. It normally helps me out a lot if you tell me kind of, like, how the game went, or, like, what things you kind of, like, struggled with. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all later. Bye!